licensing and getting rights an issue for the people?
I must say there has been great support from the government.
Right.
The government has put together, the Kenya Council government has put together a lot of measures in place in terms of the mineral rights management across the country. Support to miners who have to, get the consents from the communities, get the consents from the county governments, and actually this has been able to spur the growth in this sector. So in terms of Kenya National Chamber as well as the other stakeholders in the mining sector, we are moving into capacity building across all the 47 counties because Kenya National Chamber is represented across all those counties.
Right.
So when we work like that, then it means that we'll be able to achieve those goals that are geared towards having policy harmonization and getting some of those licenses across. So the process has been made easier by the government, and for sure, investors are welcome, and it's easy to access the cadastre. It has been in use for many years. Many countries in Africa, in Asia, have been able to use this cadastre as a way of just managing the mineral rights. And Kenya, we are at that point. We have a running cadastre in place,
right,
and it's first come, first served basis.
Right.
Thank you.
And when it comes to frameworks, and managing, the people, and as well managing the data, we have large-scale miners, we have, small-scale miners, we have different people doing different things, adding to the gross domestic product. Of course, large-scale operations are limited to soda ash, mineral sands, and titanium ores. Of course, there are the new high-value, minerals. Vishal, when it comes to that, when it comes to coltan, this is a very new insight. This is something new that's coming into the country. Do you believe that we have the capacity as a country to value add to it before exportation?
Yeah, I mean, we have to start first by working with the community miners who are actually working in these areas around coltan, and not only for coltan, even other minerals.
Right.
And the country is trying to support making these artisan miners who have been working on their own, trying to collect them and put them into cooperatives.
Right.
And then we can license them correctly and remove those illegal mining activities, illegal dealership activities, work under the license of the country. And therefore, it'll increase more trade. It'll allow more health and safety standards in the mining sector, especially with ASMs, and education on how they should do the correct mining. At the moment, it's still mismanaged, and I think by collecting them and putting them together in a cooperative, we'll be able to provide those services to the ASMs. Mm-hmm. And that will drive all this mineralization development, and eventually after exporting some of the ore and understanding it better, right, then value addition will automatically, naturally come.
And of course, value addition is very important for the country, not only for the mining sector, but also for agriculture. Manufacturing is really big. The government is looking towards pushing it even further. And of course, the online cadastre has been launched to streamline the sector it became more active around 2023. Now, the data that is collected is going to be used to ensure that the people who need it the most are, licensed and they have the rights. Now, when it comes to this particular online cadastre, Charles, you've already touched on it a little bit. Do you feel like as Kenyans we have sufficient data to be feeding into this cadastre? Is it something that you believe is working for the people and not just for the government?
Yeah, Hibak, our online cadastre actually is one of the best in Africa. And actually, all this data has been done, mining has been in place from the late 1800s during the construction of the railway line, all the way exploration in the 20s, 30s, 40s. So all this research data in terms of the exploration activities, the geological infrastructure across the country has been loaded onto the cadastre. And I can confidently say that it is the right place to get the right information.
Just a few months ago, of course, we had a few miners who, especially small-scale miners, who said that they do not have the right and they feel like they've been disenfranchised when it comes to it. As the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, and this comes to you now, Vishal, do you believe that the small-scale miners are also being catered to?
Yeah, through the cadastre, that's how they're going to be catered eventually by by licensing them as cooperatives. And therefore they'll all be catered correctly and no one will be left out. The good thing about the cadastre, it allows for transparency in the sector. It allows for transparency of you as even if you're an investor or an artisan miner and you're given the right, and it's security of your right that you have to